Hello guys, and welcome to ARYA FLASH.
Each week we're going to choose a hot topic that we can talk about and something that you're going to find really interesting for your investments. This week we're talking about the tokenization of shares. So Ben, what exactly is that?
Very good question. So, when we're looking at the tokenization of shares, it's being done by crypto-based exchanges, which seems a bit strange that a crypto-based exchange is able to offer shares. Now, what we have to understand is that these companies are not actually offering the share itself, and we'll go through exactly how it works in a second. But essentially, what these guys do is they will take the share, they then upload it onto a blockchain and create a mirror image of it almost, and then they distribute these, and that's what they're able to sell. Now, when they do these transactions and they sell these tokens to yourself as an investor, everything will be fully documented on the ledger. Now, these tokens are split in Binance's case, for example. They're split into, so one share equals 100 different tokens. Now, like I said, Connie, we're not actually buying the share itself. So what is it that we're buying?
No, exactly. You're actually buying the underlying asset or a Delta One product. It's a derivatives product, which means that when the increase of the price on one side goes up, it's going to mimic the increase on the price of the token. So we have one share split in Binance's case into 100 tokens, and each token is a representation of the underlying asset. Now, what we do is when we invest in these, it gives people access to a smaller fraction of that share, which means you need less money to actually invest. What are the other benefits of tokens that you can think of?
So one of the key things actually is that during the process of tokenization, so you're actually not trading on the share itself, so you're not restricted to the open hours of the share and the exchange that the share is being sold through. So in the case of, let's say, Tesla, for example, if you were to be trading this, if you're trading on the token itself, you're not restricted to the 9:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. close. That will be typical for the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
In the early instance for Binance, you are in fact restricted from the 9:30 till 4, which is a shame, but for iterations coming soon, and we'll go through the different companies that are coming up next, those will be able to be traded 24/7, and in the case of FTX, all of their companies are in fact traded 24/7, so you have access to a global market pretty much at any time. So you're not restricted to those US working hours.
Yeah, it's fab. 24 hours, 24/7. It is incredible to be able to trade at any time of the day, no matter where you are in the world. The next general benefit is the fact that you are able to still get dividends. So even though you are not holding the actual share itself, you are still getting dividends. So with Apple stocks, the Binance is actually announcing that they will be holding the Apple tokens by the end of the week.
Correct.
And so it means that when you purchase these tokens, you are still going to be earning the 1.5% dividend, something around there. So that's an incredible benefit. You're actually investing a very small amount of money in a token and still benefiting from dividends. Yeah,
and it's worth noting, so like you said, there's going to be Apple, Microsoft, and MicroStrategy. We all know about Apple and Microsoft. MicroStrategy are very popular in the space because of essentially their company accounts do hold an awful lot of Bitcoin. Do you remember how much it was?
Yes, it's 90,000 Bitcoin. So it's a huge player.
huge hodler in the space. And so the one thing that's worth being made aware of is there's a few things that you don't get when you actually come to purchase the tokens. So you don't get access to the company's documents itself. You don't have the right to sue, and there was one other one, isn't it, that you
don't have voting rights, the same as normal shareholders.
Correct, but like we said, you do have the access to the dividends, which probably is the most important thing. When you come to investing in stocks, so that you can I guess reinvest those. And if you're having it on Binance, for example, you can then reinvest that into again more stock, or you can exchange that and then invest part of your dividends from stocks into cryptos, which is a very, very good thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. Now, kind of how does it work, and how have they put this process in place, Connie?
So simply, all you have to do is transfer your funds into BUSD, which is Binance stablecoin. And this is open and accessible to anyone who has a Binance account and has level 2 KYC verification.
It's a little bit different in Germany, though, isn't it?
It is, but just before I go on to that, you specifically do need your facial recognition for level 2, and slightly different, like you said, Ben, for if you live in Germany, you do need level 3. So just go onto your Binance account and make sure you check out exactly the things that you need for them to authorize your verification. People who aren't able to invest into tokens yet are people who live in the US, in mainland China, and in Turkey.
Very true.
This is probably going to change in the future, so just make sure that you're looking at the news and looking at your account. You can see when and if you can invest if you're living in the US.
Yeah, and just one kind of little bit of to go off piste here is that we know recently there was a bit of a drop in the crypto market, and that partially was given down to Turkey completely banning crypto. We know that China is a little bit they want to get away from crypto because they're creating their own digital yuan, or at least they already have. And also the US is just extremely slow with any regulations in terms of finance. So we know they're working on a digital dollar. So maybe that might be a reason why they're staying away from crypto. We don't know yet, but like you said, we'll keep our finger on the pulse.
Yes.
To bring any news updates that come. And so when we actually look at, so that's what you have to do.
Yes.
If you have to go through level 2 KYC, level 3 if you're in Germany. Now what Binance typically do is they have partnered with CM Equity. Now what these guys do is they are essentially a depository fund, and so they are the custodian. They hold all of the shares that you can trade, and you can buy the tokens of. So they will hold the Tesla, they will hold Microsoft, MicroStrategy, and also Apple. So they are kind of the guys who have the keys to all of the shares, and then Binance are then able to tokenize from that fund of shares, essentially. And it's exactly the same case for FTX as well, who are going through the same process. So they also use CM Equity. Now, it's also worth noting that when tokens are put up for sale and created, they have to be licensed by a third party, and that third party is CM Equity. Which kind of brings us on to the final, where do we think we'll be going? It's a very interesting question.
Yes.
As to what the future will hold, but I personally see really the power of everything with the Wall Street bets, the community that kind of pumped AMC, trying to pump the silver squeeze. There's a lot more retail money coming into the space, and a lot more guys who are getting into finance at a much younger age,
yes,
which naturally has seen a boom in crypto. And I think that push of retail money and people getting curious about crypto will obviously, we've seen so many more Binance accounts being made. Mm-hmm. And so as all of these exchanges begin to increase their footprint, they begin to take people away from regular, FX brokers, yep, or stock brokers, commodity brokers, whatever they are. If they can begin to, expand into other areas, then I don't see much reason why they won't continue to grow, and therefore we won't see more and more liquidity pumping into cryptos, but also from the liquidity from crypto moving into the stock market, and perhaps again being another feeder which just really kind of opens up the whole stock market world from a very traditional old money hedge fund, kind of pension fund type money, totally, into more retail guys. That's kind of where I see it. I think also 24/7 access to the stock market will be a huge thing.
It's going to be very attractive for everyone over the world. So once it starts to become more popularized, it's going to be more interesting. There's going to be more stocks and shares that are tokenized. So at the moment there must be over 20. There's loads on the other brokerage account. What's the name?
FTX. I'm going to get my glasses here because this is pretty interesting, I'll tell you. So far, we see Binance has Tesla, but again, you're still restricted to the 9:30 till 4 p.m. Trading. Yes, they will offer Apple, Microsoft, and MicroStrategy, but FTX are already offering Tesla, MicroStrategy, Galaxy Digital, Square, Uber, Moderna, AMC, Alibaba, ARK, which is the Cathy Wood's investment fund, and a ton of others. Some of these are futures, and some of these are actual raw stocks. But we see a lot of them are in, the like Square. They hold a ton of Bitcoin on their books, and so there's an awful lot of these companies that are kind of really pushing into the future that there's that real strong connection between the crypto community and traditional stocks. I mean, Elon Musk is a very good example of that, isn't he? So yeah, I see a lot more liquidity coming into the space. I think that it's going to be hugely exciting over the next couple of years, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to keeping up to date with the news.
Yes. Well, we will be back next week where we'll be speaking about a whole different topic. If you have any of interest that you would specifically like us to go over, please leave some comments in the Facebook video below. It would be interesting to have a look at what you guys find interesting. And yeah, we will see you next week, and we hope you've enjoyed the video.
And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe on this video for everything that's coming up next.
Please do. We look forward to seeing you again.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.